What's up, creative friends? It's Asia Marquet here, Lemon Creation. I have for you two projects because for once I used leftovers. No, it's not that for once, but I just used leftovers while making one project. I decided to make another one. That's the second one. So you can watch both of them, or you can skip and go to anyone you wish. And I hope you're still gonna enjoy. So stay tuned. Few things you need to know about this project. Firstly, I'm gonna work in my butterfly art journal, so you know my page is flat. I can work without problems. I'm using Cuckoo Clock Cardinal and Fairy Garden Green. Those are magicals and magical shakers from Lindy Skunk, and I'm actually gonna use both of them for both projects, and you're gonna just see why. I'm working on the watercolor paper and on the stock card paper or cardstock paper, which is the one to which I just apply water, and now I am applying magicals. I'm gonna be using this smooshing over technique, I think that's how it's called, and normally to do that you would use piece of acetate, but I've noticed that if you use two pieces of paper, one on top of the other, you getting different results. First of all, because simply you don't see what's underneath, so you're kind of working blind, which is really cool because you can get really nice surprises, and that's how I've done the page just on the right hand side, the blue and the yellow one, and I absolutely love it. And I have to say, this page didn't work as well as the other one. I prefer still the one on the right, but I really like this technique. It gives you some kind of different effects really, because the paper is porous, so it's not like acetate, and it reacts in different way with another piece of paper. I hope you know what I try to tell you, but yes, trying with different texture, you know, with applying paint, it could be really funny or really fun, and also you can learn something new. And as I said, there is a little bit of mystery to what you get as a result, which is always cool. So right now I am drying the page, but I still kept the, you know, the small piece of paper, which is exactly the size of my loose art journal pages, which I'm later assembling to make an art journal book, which I made a video about it. I'm gonna try to get you the link in the corner for this video. And now I'm gonna be doing some stenciling. I'm using the rest of my cream paste from Stamperia, and as I am repeating constantly, it's a really nice paste because it's not liquid, and I am adding black hole black to it to make it dark. To make it, actually I wanted to make it completely black, but this color it does not give me the real black color, so I tried to make a mixture. I added also a blazing black to make it a little bit more darker, because what I wanted was a really black color. At the end, after drying, the color actually changed and it looked much darker, so you know, I'm fine with it. But that's the thing, you know, when you are adding color to the paste, you have to expect that it's actually gonna be a little bit brighter than the actual color. And I am using one of my newest stencils. It's a Sunken Atlantis, because it has rings like Atlantis. So I really love it, and this is actually the first time I'm using it. I have not had time to play with all of my stencils, but look at that, guys, it looks so beautiful. At this point I was working on the other page, but you're gonna see it in the second part of the video. I didn't want to mix them up too much. Of course, I'm adding a little bit of splatter, and if I'm not mistaken, it must be a black dress, little black dress chalk acrylic from PaperArtsy, because of course splatter is always welcome on my pages. And look at that, guys, isn't that just, the texture is just lovely. I really like it. Once again, I'm using black hole black to add a little bit of dark color. I don't know why I like black so much. not in everyday life, but on the pages. I really appreciate this color. I think it's the contrast which really does it for me. So I just kind of randomly, but kind of not really randomly, I try to keep it, you know, on the you know, this kind of inclined line, more or less, and just add a tiny bit of black. As I said to you, I did not appreciate, or I do not appreciate the red color too much. Not the color itself, but the fact that I added too much. I just smooshed the paper too many times for my liking. I think it would have been better if there was, at least on the right hand side of this page, if there was less red color. But you know, I'm not a perfectionist. It doesn't have to be, the pages doesn't have to be precious, and you know, I left it like that because I still like it. And I'm using, of course, Archival ink, jet black, and some small background stamps from PaperArtsy. This one is from Caramel Studio. Once again, the whole list of products you're gonna find, as always, in the description box below, as link to my shop where you can find my stencils, for example. And this is once again a stamp from PaperArtsy. It's on big stamp, and this time A5, which I really like. It has a lot of really nice texture for the background. The next step was to add focal point. So I'm really happy with my, you know, with my cardboard papers on which I glue with a removable glue, you know, this cutout people. And so like that I can actually take some of them and try which one fits the best the page. I had a problem with this page because it's quite dark, so I had to actually use the white angel gentleman and I used my super messy words, no, really messy words this time. And this is the end of the page. I think the, you know, the focal point, which is in black, it added a little bit of brightness to the page and some coherence between the rest of the background, the negative space, and the middle of the page. That's it, and in a few seconds I invite you to see my other project. So here it is, the first page I worked on, and right now what I'm doing is actually I am inversing a stencil which I used on the proper page, and I'm doing negative print. It printed not very well just because I used the cream paste. If I was using a color, for example, like, not acrylic maybe, but spray, and if I was to turn the stencil upside down and do negative print, you would see stencil more. But because the paste is quite thick and it dried quite quickly on the stencil, you know, you didn't get the full impression, but it's still there and you can see it. And I decided also to darken tiny bit the edges by using the leftover of the cream paste. And so like that I got a tiny bit more of the texture. So here is the tongue twister, Quinacridone Nickel Azo something. I really love this acrylic, but I have such a hard time to get the full name. So I did a tiny bit of splatter and I add a little bit of gold to the page. It's not very visible, but it's still there. And if you use this color on the page, which is not that you know, dark, I'd say, you would get a really nice gold effect. And I'm using a PaperArtsy stamp, so I am adding a stamping to the background, and the main part of the stamp, the two boys, I actually stamp on by using the stamping platform, and I cut it out. And so I'm gonna just paste them to the page because there is no other option. I could have just stamped it on the page, it's too thick and too many layers. And I'm using Deluxe glue from Nuvo. And like that, I have this background which I stamped, so the full stamp is really visible. But because the guys are a tiny bit weird, in a good sense, I add also glossy accents to their glasses, and also to the small small pieces like geometrical, I don't know, cubes and stuff which are on the bottom. I ink the edges of the card so it's fully black, so they are fully black, the edges. And now I'm passing the outlines of the boys with the Uni Pin pen, which is permanent, and making some shadow with Stabilo All crayon, which is very easily diluted with water, and you can actually write on every surface with this crayon, even on the glass, which I haven't done, but I heard you can do it. And now I'm using the, you know, this pencil with the tank, not sure, I forgot the word for it. And I'm just like that, you know, adding tiny bit of shadow to place them really like properly on the page. To use the sentiments and not to be repetitive all the time, I used Arched Apertures from PaperArtsy. In this stamp you have two or three I think sentiments, which are really nice. And I just stamped them with Archival ink on the cardstock paper and cut it out, cut into small pieces, and just put them on the page in like, not really, I didn't align them, I put them a little haphazardly, I'd say. The first impression didn't work that well, so I did it the second one. And yes, and I use also Nuvo adhesive, Deluxe adhesive to glue them to the page. This is the end result with the same paints, with the same stencil. I have two pages. One it's gonna go to my butterfly journal, and the other it's gonna go to the other journal, which I'm already working on it. I'm making a small single pages which I will assemble later into a second art journal. Something for you to, you know, to think about also, that, you know, with one project you actually can do two projects, why not, with leftovers. This is it. I hope you enjoy the process, and as always I'm waiting for your comments, and thank you so much for subscribing. I wish you a beautiful day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.